What's up, YouTube? It's Vicente Gonzalez back with another weekly Stardom Sit-em. This week is week 3. Let's get it going. At quarterback, I say start Trevor Siemian, Cam Newton, Carson Wentz, Ben Roethlisberger, Alex Smith, and sit Joe Flacco, Phillip Rivers, Dak Prescott, Eli Manning, Kirk Cousins, and any Minnesota quarterback. To start, we'll start with Trevor Siemian. He is a good quarterback. He's running the offense really well up there in Denver, and he's got a lot of help too with Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, and C.J. Anderson. He doesn't have to really do too much to make plays. The whole offense does it for him. And plus, he makes plays on the ground too. He ran in for a touchdown this last week, so I think he's a safe bet any week. Also starting is Carson Wentz. That offense has no run game, so they've been resorting to passing a whole lot, which really benefits Carson Wentz. So I think he's on fire right now, and you should keep starting him. On the sit-em column, Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott had a horrendous game against the Denver Broncos. I haven't seen the Cowboys play that bad in years. Well, really, actually, it was like 2 years ago. But anyways, I say wait till he rebounds again before you decide to start him again. Also sitting are Sam Bradford and Case Keenum, whoever starts for Minnesota. They have a terrible matchup this week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'd like to see the offense rebound before starting them again. At running back, I say start Kareem Hunt, Ty Montgomery, Jay Ajayi, Le'Veon Bell, C.J. Anderson, and Carlos Hyde, and sit Dalvin Cook, LaShawn McCoy, DeMarco Murray, Terrence West, and Lamar Miller. To start, Kareem Hunt. He is going to be a weekly monster. He has proven not to be a one-game wonder, and you should start him, no question. Also starting this week, Le'Veon Bell. He's had a rough first 2 games. I think he's shaken off the rust after missing all the training camp. I think this should be the game he rebounds against an unimpressive Chicago defense. Also, to sit this week, I say sit LaShawn McCoy. He's also had a pretty weird first 2 weeks, something we totally did not expect. And playing the Denver defense isn't going to help at all. So I'd wait on him again. Also to sit DeMarco Murray. Now, he's hurt, and it may be time for Derrick Henry to take the reins of that offense. So keep an eye on that. At wide receiver, I say start Michael Crabtree, J.J. Nelson, Emmanuel Sanders, Devontae Adams, Antonio Brown, and Martavis Bryant. And sit Sammy Watkins, the Jaguars receivers, Stephon Diggs, T.Y. Hilton, and A.J. Green. To start, Michael Crabtree. Michael Crabtree did really well last week, pulling in 3 touchdowns, and seems to be Derek Carr's favorite target, so I would start him. Also starting is J.J. Nelson. He seems to be the focal point right now of the Cardinals' offense, so I wouldn't worry about starting him. And he's also a really good waiver wire pick if he's still on the free agents. Sitting, the Jaguars receivers. Blake Bortles is Blake Bortles, and they seem to be more of a running offense than anything. Also going against the Baltimore defense that's been really well the past few weeks, so I'd wait on that. Also, A.J. Green. A.J. Green, I would not start him until Andy Dalton shapes up. He has been a terrible quarterback, throwing just for nothing these last few weeks, so I would wait on that. At tight end, I say start Zach Ertz, Travis Kelce, Jack Doyle, Eric Ebron, and Evan Ingram, and sit Charles Clay, Jesse James, Jordan Reed, Austin Hooper, and Ben Watson. Starting with Zach Ertz, he's proven to be a really reliable tight end for the Eagles and is getting 10-plus fantasy points every game. He is a weekly starter for now. Also starting is Jack Doyle. Despite his terrible quarterback situation, has been producing a lot of good numbers, so if you need him, you can stream him. Sitting, Charles Clay had a bad week this last week, so I wouldn't trust him, especially going against the Denver defense. And Jordan Reed, surprise, he's hurt again. I think he has a broken toe in his foot, and it's just not comfortable for him to play, and he's not producing because of that. So he's going to be a question mark every single week. I don't trust him at all. At defense, I say start Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers, Philadelphia Eagles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Green Bay Packers. And sit Detroit Lions, Houston Texans, Buffalo Bills, Carolina Panthers, and Minnesota Vikings. Starting with the Baltimore Ravens, they're playing against a very iffy offense. All they have is Leonard Fournette, and the passing attack is more or less just managed by Blake Bortles, who we know is not very good. So I think there's plenty of opportunities to make big plays there. Also starting is the Philadelphia Eagles, going against Eli Manning, who is just not himself anymore. He's not the quarterback he used to be, so I expect a lot of opportunities for big plays there as well. Sitting, I say sit the Houston Texans because they are going against Tom Brady, who had a monster week last week, and I don't see him slowing down. Also sitting are the Minnesota Vikings defense. They're going against Tampa Bay and Mike Evans, and they're not as good right now because they don't have a quarterback situation. They're on the field all the time. I don't trust them at all, so I would sit them as well. Week 2 is done. Remember, team management is way more important than a good draft when it comes to making the playoffs in your league. So keep a track on the waiver wire targets. Keep up with injuries. And remember that the matchup is way more important than the star player. So don't be scared to sit that A.J. Green or something, even though his name is A.J. Green. That's it for this week. Like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next week.